All right. Thanks for tuning in to this live stream here. Let's see what the date is. 22nd? Is that right? 3rd? 23rd. Thank you for being here. We're going to talk about the Hohner Rocket and the Rocket Amp, just kind of give you an understanding, a better understanding of really what the differences are between the models, because they're very similar, and whether it's worth checking one out versus the other, when you might use one versus the other. Before I do that, I want to say thank you for giving the video a like, subscribe if you haven't, and don't forget this Saturday is my next online blues harmonica class. They are all recorded. I'll have notes. It's a heck of a deal. You get to show up and work with me for about an hour and a half. The topic this Saturday is bluesy or blues licks focused on those draw notes. So we're going to retrain the breath control, learn some cool ideas. It's going to be a great class. And you can learn more on the homepage at harmonica123.com. Before I jump in talking about the Hohner, and I will get there very quickly, but I just want to say, before I do that, thanks to Thomas, who made a great comment in my last video about position work and fifth position. When you're learning when you're learning first, second, and third, you're actually learning more about fourth, fifth, and 12th position based on them being relative minors. The same notes are used, and I didn't mention that. It's really important. So when you learn the second position major pentatonic, you are learning essentially fifth position minor is just a rearrangement of the root notes. And that makes a difference. That's what I meant by this is all new to me yesterday, because I had to figure out how to find those phrases I was familiar with from, let's say, second position, and it totally flips everything and changes the phrasing. So good morning. Let's jump right in and talk about these models today. If you're tuning in live, welcome. I've got in my hand, it's just what I have. So they're very close key-wise. I think it'll be fine for comparison. I'll show you. I have a Rocket in D, and I also have a Rocket Amp in the key of E, both higher keys for harmonicas. So let me just start by saying that both have plastic combs, both have a single screw that bolts down the front end of the cover plate where the mouthpiece is. Both have a wide open back, so they're all plastic, and the construction internally is the same. And then you might be thinking, well, is it just green and gray? I mean, why would I even care? There is a difference. There's one huge difference. And let me jump on my video today. And the big difference between them really has to do with the cover plates, the side vents, I should say. So the cover plates. And in the Rocket, you're going to find that there's open side vents. And then on the Rocket Amp, you're going to find there are closed. Let's see if I can get this to focus. Closed side vents, so there's no release there. How does this impact the playability and or sound of the Rocket compared to a Rocket Amp? It's not a huge difference, but I find that the Rockets are a brighter sound, perhaps a little bit more projection due to the open side vents as well. And that the Rocket Amps are slightly more muted and mellower in sound because they have closed side vents. That's it. That's the main difference. And why do they call it the Rocket Amp? Maybe it's somewhat of a marketing thing, but it's to give you a suggestion to try playing it through an amplifier. Playing it amplified gives you the ability to cup, and really when you're cupping, you're then fully sealing because there's no air that can escape here. You're encapsulating, getting all that air to go through the microphone. That's kind of their idea of why they called it a Rocket Amp. That's the story behind that. You can use it in any scenario, the Rocket Amp or the Rocket. So that's the difference. What do they sound like? This is a D Rocket, a standard Rocket in the key of D. Now, I wish I had the exact key in the Rocket Amp. That would be the ultimate, but I don't. But I do have an E, so it's going to be even higher. It's a higher key, but just because, don't pay attention to the key. Pay attention to the quality of the sound here. Hear how it's a little more mellow? The sound doesn't just come out in all directions. That's the way I perceive it, at least. So it is a different sound, and I think that whether you're playing acoustically or amplified, it's a consideration. If I had to choose, I think I like them both, but I really like the Rocket. I like the brightness of the Rocket. That differentiates it for me from like already the Special 20, because these are really built off the Special 20. So then your next question might be, well, Ronnie, what's the difference between a Special 20 and a Rocket amp? They both have closed side vents. There is a little bit of a difference. The amp has a big open back. Special 20 does not. Special 20 also has a much smaller screw in the middle. It's not as robust as these, I guess, Torx screws. These Torx screws, I think that's what they're called, are bigger, more heavy duty, and in the front, sealing it off maybe a tiny bit better. What else might you find? A little more of a projection from the comb on the Rocket amp to the Rocket. I mean, the Rocket and the Rocket amp compared to the Special 20, where it doesn't the comb is not projecting past those cover plates quite as much. It's harder to see here, I understand, but you can look at some pictures online. So I think the Rocket is supposed to be great for people with facial hair, less hairs getting stuck. That's what I've heard. Yeah, it's like that's a good way to think of it, Thomas. The Rocket is like a hopped up or souped up Special 20. It's louder. It reacts very fast. So one big thing I didn't mention about the Rocket is that these channel openings here, they're bigger in the front and they get more narrow as they go towards the end. I think it's called like the Venturi effect, but basically it makes the reeds react quickly, very quick response. So it's great for faster playing, louder playing, brighter if you want that bright sound. And if you're worried about it being bright, because I don't tend to normally want a bright harmonica. I don't love necessarily a really bright sound. It's nice. It's not too bright. It's not shrill. And when you amplify, if you're going to amplify, you can change the setting ever so slightly on the amp to accommodate. Turn the treble down maybe a pinch and work with it. Or if you're going through an acoustic microphone on stage, like a vocal mic, same thing. You can adjust that. Maybe not in every circumstance, but. So the D Rocket. The E Rocket amp. They sound totally different to me. So anybody out there saying, it's just a gimmick, it's the same thing. It's not. I mean, once your ear develops to a point, you would agree, I would hope, you can hear the difference. I can totally hear the difference. And when harmonicas sound different, you tend to play differently. That's the advantage of trying different harmonica models. And I'm not saying you have to get a Hohner. Some people are playing Zeidels or Suzuki harmonicas or whatever they're playing. But you find what works for you in your approach and what you're looking for. And that might change over time. So, yeah, let's see who else is here. So welcome to everybody tuning in. Hope your heating issues are resolved. They are resolved for now. I've learned that when it gets ultra cold, the split AC heat units tend to not want to produce heat after -5 and colder or so. Yeah, we don't get that too often, but we do get that a few times a year. But I'm nice and toasty warm today, and I am feeling great. I'm excited about the class. I do want to show you one other thing today. Let me pull this up just to show you what is going on, what I have in the background. I have my site, and I always talk about the memberships, but I've never really taken a minute to actually show you guys. I have once, I think, but to really kind of break down for those that are like, should I do this? Why he keeps talking about a Harmonica 123 membership? What is it? Well, I took every class I ever recorded over the last 5 years or so, and I put them in an archived area on the website. So members have access to like 140 some odd classes, guest artist classes, my classes, and all the notes are downloadable. If you join a silver membership, you can do it yearly or monthly. You can save a little bit, save 2 months by getting the year, or do 35 a month. If you're a silver member, you get access to everything. You get all those recordings. And not only that, you're getting all of the new incoming classes each month. The only thing you don't get is to attend live on any upcoming classes. Gold members get the benefit of not only attending live and the archived area, but they also get access to a Q&A every 6 to 8 weeks. I offer up a Q&A. I've got one coming up, actually. So they join in the Zoom webinar. We're all on camera. People have a little FaceTime where they can ask questions or share. And again, that one's coming up this Sunday. So it's a great time to join because there's a class coming up and a Q&A. And even if you tried it for 1 month, you would find that it would pay for the class and you'd have access for a month to all of the recordings. It's a cool deal. I hope you'll check it out. I worked really hard to get to the point where I could have enough material to offer a membership, and then putting it together was a whole another big project. So I appreciate those that are already members. Thank you so much. And if you're just a member here on YouTube, I don't want to discount that. I really appreciate y'all's support on YouTube, and if that's the easiest way for you to help support me, that's awesome. And if you can't support, you still can by giving the video a like and subscribing. If that's all you can do, that's awesome. I appreciate all of it. On that note, we talked about the Rocket amp today. Kind of a looser stream, but I did want to come on and stay committed to connecting and posting and doing something, at least a live stream or a post every single day here in January. And so far, we are doing it. If you can do the membership budget-wise, I can guarantee you'll be getting... Thanks. The best bang for your buck. Thanks, Thomas. Yeah, man, it's been incredible to get a lot of feedback from people that are already members telling me that they really dig being able to take their time and now go through everything in one place. It eliminates all the downloading and because you're streaming it and you don't have to look for stuff. It's all in one place. You just log in and boom, it's right there. So I need more members, though. It would help me a lot to get a few more members so that I can keep focusing on these things, like giving away my time on YouTube and spending more time being creative with the classes that I create and all that. Last time I'm going to demo this before I go. Thanks, Thomas. This is the D Rocket. Here's one last thing. When would I use, because I didn't really say, I do use both. When do I decide? I don't really have a major preference as far as like, boy, I really want the Rocket amp in this circumstance, but I will say that I already said it. I think the Rocket is the standout for me if I had to choose. The amp's really cool too. I mean, it's green. There's that. And maybe you just dig the green. But like the Rocket just has something about it, a superb playability and sound that I really have grown to love. At first, I was very hesitant because I was more of like a darker sound, slightly warmer sound, but it is warm. It's just bright. I mean, look at this one. I've worn off the Hohner. That shows you I'm playing it. That's wearing off and back. I mean, this one's, I've had this for a while. So I'll tell Hohner to work on some of that. But I tend to get up in there and really wrap my hands around it. All right, so that's what I got today. Thanks for tuning in to this live stream. Maybe you picked up a little bit of knowledge on those two harmonicas, maybe not, but otherwise we got to hang out and have a grand old time, didn't we? Hey, thanks for the comment. Yeah, exactly. It has been nice connecting daily. We'll see how long that keeps up. And I hope to see you tomorrow, everybody. Thanks for being here today. I'll catch you on the next one.